Hi friends, welcome back to our virtual Salt and Soul studio. Today we'll be going through a 20-minute power vinyasa. So whenever you're ready, you can join me in an easy seat. We will just start off with a few breaths here. Hands can be on the knees, facing up to receive or down to ground, whatever your practice needs today. But we can just rock side to side to really ground down through those sit bones here. Let those eyes close or have a soft gaze. Roll those shoulders down and away from your ears. Unclench your jaw. We'll go through a few breaths of our Ujjayi breathing here, or the victorious breath, sealing off the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose, slow and constricted, like you're fogging up a glass. Inhale again through the nose. Exhale through the nose, nice and slow. One more just like that. Inhale. Maybe holding at the top here. Exhale through the nose, let it all go. And holding at the bottom here. Making your way back to that natural rhythm of your breath here. You can slowly blink your eyes open. Or keep a soft gaze, whatever feels good. On your next inhale, bring those arms overhead. Drop that right arm behind you. Left hand comes to your right knee for a twist. Gaze is over that right shoulder here. One more breath. Coming back to center, arms can come back overhead. We'll switch it. Dropping that left arm behind, right hand comes to the left knee. Gaze is over that left shoulder for 3 breaths. Last one. And then coming back to center, arms come overhead. Can drop your hands behind your head here. We'll go through some seated cat-cows. So just rounding that spine, bringing the elbows in, and then opening up. So dropping down, open up, arch the back, dropping down, curve the spine, arching back, open up the back here. A few more just like this, matching your breath with the movements. And then releasing those hands down, we'll flip over into a tabletop position here. We'll take a balancing table here, so sending that right arm long in front of you, left leg comes out behind. Hold here for a full breath. On your next inhale, crunch your right elbow to your left knee, round that spine. Exhale, kick it back out long line of energy from the fingertips to the toes. Drop that hand and knee back down to the mat. Feel free to take a cat-cow to the spine. Repeating on the opposite side here, we'll reach forward with that left arm, kick that right leg long behind us, holding for 1 breath. On your next inhale, crunch your knee into the elbow, arching that spine. Exhale, kick them back out long. Hold for 1 more breath here, keeping that core engaged. And then drop everything back down to the mat. Again, feel free to take a cat-cow, rinse out the spine. Tuck those toes and then send your weight back, straightening out the legs into our downward facing dog. Pedal out the feet here, bending into one knee and then the other. Can come high on the toes and then try to drive the heels down into the mat. Stretching out those hamstrings here. Tippy toe walk to the top of the mat to meet your hands. Heel toe those feet so they're spread apart slightly. Reach for opposite elbows and just hang here, rocking side to side into a ragdoll. Letting your head hang. Knees stay bent. Hands come to the mat, heel toe the feet to touch. Slowly rolling up into standing. Hands come out by the sides for Tadasana, rooting down through all 4 corners of the feet. Inhale, arms come overhead. Exhale, forward fold, hands to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step it back, right then the left. Drop down to the knees, toes come out long, lower down to the belly, and press up for a cobra, thighs stay down. Tuck the toes, exhale, downward dog. Step your right foot forward, then the left. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, arms come overhead. Exhale, forward fold, diving back down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step that left foot back, then the right, high plank. Dropping down to the knees, toes come long. Drop down to the belly, and then press up for a back bend into a cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Step your left foot forward, then the right. Inhale, lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, arms come overhead. We'll build some heat and speed it up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step that right, then the left back, high plank. Shift forward an inch, lower down chaturanga. Flip your toes, rise up, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward, then the left. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, arms come overhead. Exhale, forward fold, last one. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step the left, then the right back, high plank. Shift forward, chaturanga dandasana. Flip your toes, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Step your left foot forward, then the right. Inhale, lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, arms come overhead. Down through heart center. And out by your side for Tadasana. Shake it out. Nice job with those sun salutations. Feel free to grab a drink, take a break, whatever your body needs. We'll be back in a second at the top of our mat. Hands can come out beside you into Tadasana, rooting down through the four corners of your feet. Inhale, arms come overhead. Exhale, sinking down into a chair pose, tucking that pelvis under, drawing the belly button in toward the spine. Holding here for 3, 2, 1. Step your left foot back into a crescent lunge, arms overhead. Swivel that back foot so it's 45 degrees, warrior 1. Holding here for 1 breath. And then open up to warrior 2. Turning that back foot so it's parallel to the short edge of your mat. Arms are out long. Drop that right forearm to the right thigh. Left arm reaches high for a side angle. 1 more breath here. And when you're ready, we'll reverse that warrior, dropping that left hand to the back leg, right arm like you're high-fiving the wall behind you. Cartwheel those hands down to the mat, step it back, and take a vinyasa. So flowing through either a chaturanga, a modified chaturanga, and an up dog or a cobra, meeting back in a downward dog. Step your right foot forward, then the left. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, taking another chair pose here. Sinking down like you're sitting in a chair. Tucking that pelvis under. Holding here for 3, 2, 1. Step your right foot back into a crescent lunge. Drop that heel down into warrior 1. Elbows hugging in toward the ears. When you're ready, open up into warrior 2. Bending into that front knee. Arms are out long. Gaze is over that left middle finger. Finding the side angle on this side, dropping that left forearm to the left thigh. Right arm reaches high. Gaze is up toward that right thumb. Holding here for 1 more breath. On your next inhale, reverse that warrior, dropping that right hand back to the leg. Left arm reaches like you're high-fiving the back wall. Cartwheel those hands to frame the front foot. Step it back. Take your vinyasa here, whatever variation feels good in your practice. Meeting me in a downward dog. Step your left foot forward, then the right. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, one more chair pose here. Making sure you have those hips and pelvis tucked under, like you're sitting back in a chair. Exhale, forward fold, hands to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step it back, high plank. Take your flow, whatever version that is, meeting me in a down dog. Inhale, bring your right leg high. Tap your right knee to your right tricep. Kick it back out, three-legged dog. Knee comes into the nose for cheetah. Kick it back out. Step your right foot forward. Rise up, crescent lunge. Arms come overhead. Holding here for one more breath. And then shifting your weight onto that right leg. Arms come forward. Seeing if you can extend that left leg out long behind you for warrior three. Toes are long. And then coming back into standing, sending that left leg through into a stork pose. Knee is out long in front of you. Hands come down to heart center. Crossing that left foot over to the right knee. And we'll sit back into a figure four chair here. Finding some balance, focusing on something that's not moving. Last breath here. Coming back up to standing, release that knee. And then drop it down to the floor. Inhale, arms come overhead, sink down into a chair pose here. Hands come down to heart center, and we'll take a twist over to the left side, using that right elbow on the outside of the left knee. Holding here for one more breath. Exhale, forward fold, hands come down to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step it back, high plank. Take your vinyasa, whatever version, and meet me back in a downward dog. On your next breath, left leg comes high into a three-legged dog. Tap your left knee to your left tricep, kick it back out. Knee comes into the nose this time, arch the spine for cheetah, kick it back out, three-legged dog. Step your left foot forward, rise up into a crescent lunge. Back heel is still lifted, arms are overhead, elbows squeezing in towards the ears. When you're ready from here, we'll shift our weight all onto the left leg, bending forward and sending that right leg long into a warrior three, keeping those toes pointed. Arms are still reaching forward. Last breath here. And then we'll slowly come up into standing, sending that right knee straight out and lifted in front of us for a one-leg mountain. Hands come down to heart center. And taking that figure four chair over on this side. Sitting back, but keeping that chest lifted here. Focus on something that's not moving. And then release that foot from the knee, drop it back down. Sinking down into a chair pose here. Can bring those hands down to heart center. And we'll take a twist over to the left side this time, using that left elbow on the outside of the right knee. Maybe you can twist a little deeper here. Last breath. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step it back, right then the left, high plank. Shift forward, lower down. Take your flow and meet me back in a down dog. From here, you can drop those knees down to the mat and then send them wide. Heels and toes come into touch. Shifting back into a child's pose as we slow down our breath here. Last breath here, and then we'll make our way back up into a tabletop position, nice and slow. And then we'll flip on over into a sitting position here. So keeping those knees bent, resting on your bottom. We'll start off with a modified boat or a low boat here. So bringing those legs out into a tabletop position, arms come out, palms are facing up, squeezing that core and holding that upper body nice and stable. One more breath here. And then we will release everything and slowly roll back into a supine position on your back as we will cool it down with a few poses and then a few stretches. We'll start off by going through a few bridges and wheels here. You can take whatever variation you'd like. We'll start off with the easiest and then get a little progressively harder each time. So walking those feet in close toward your bottom, hands stay down on the mat, facing down. On your next inhale, lifting that pelvis and hips up toward the ceiling, squeezing those glutes. Holding here for 3 breaths, however long that is for you. Release, come back down, reset. Can always windshield wiper the legs in between sets here. Walking those feet in close again, we'll prepare for another bridge. So on your next breath, rise up, lifting those hips and pelvis up. This time, try interlacing your hands underneath you, tucking those shoulders and squeezing those shoulder blades in toward each other. Holding here for one more breath in your bridge plus this little back bend. Release the hands, lower back down to the ground. Can always stick with a bridge, but if you'd like to join me for a wheel, we'll flip our hands so they're facing the feet and then rising up into this back bend, holding for 3 breaths, whether you're in a bridge or a wheel with me. And then lowering back down. Can windshield wiper those legs or bring them out into a butterfly and just let those hips and knees flutter here. Having one hand on your chest and one hand on your belly. Just returning to that breath as we slow it down here. Maybe showing yourself a little gratitude for showing up on your mat today. Can bring those knees back in together. Cross your right foot over so it's resting on the left knee, and then lift that left leg up, reaching your hands for the back of that left thigh. Taking that reclined figure 4 here. One more breath. And then release that foot. Bring them back down to the ground. Switch it, crossing that left foot over the right knee. And then hugging it in toward your chest, hands behind the right thigh. Holding here for one more breath. And then sending that leg back down to the mat, releasing the left leg. This time you can hug both knees into your chest, rock side to side, and just roll your lower back into your mat here. Drop those hips and knees over to the left side of your mat. Right arm reaches out long, taking a twist. We're here for 3 breaths. Coming back to center. Switch it and drop those knees over to the right side of the mat. Left arm is out long and gazes out toward those left fingertips. One more breath here. And then coming back to center. You can open up those hips and knees, reaching between your legs for the outside edges of your feet. Bending and extending those knees into a happy baby. Option to rock side to side or forward and backward here. Taking whatever final stretches feel good before we just take up space on our mat for our Shavasana. And whenever you're ready, ready, you can release those legs. Send them out long. Let your ankles roll out. Hands can come down to the mat, can be facing up to receive or down to ground in our breaths in Shavasana. Whenever you're ready, you can slowly start to wiggle those fingers and toes. Maybe rolling out those wrists and the ankles here, just bringing back some movement into the body. You can slowly make your way back into a sitting position for a final breath together here. Bringing those hands to heart center. We will inhale through the nose, filling up with all the things we're grateful for, everything that's positive and lights your fire. Exhale through the mouth, sigh it out, anything negative, anything stressing you out, all the bullshit. The light in me sees and honors the same in you. We'll bow to seal our practice. Namaste. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Thanks so much for flowing with me and supporting Salt and Soul Studio. Don't forget to check out our latest video, and I'll see you next time.